Harland and Doku have been summoned.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Can you hear me? Let me know in the comment section. Please, if you're in the group, kindly just help me remind everyone that we have actually started. Please, just help me do that. Okay. All right, so good to see you guys. The long-awaited high income skills webinar, where you get to discover, the skill that matches your potential. All right, because sometimes, many people, try to find themselves in a particular, a trend that this is what is the in thing now. And many people would go there only to discover that it's not their thing. Okay, so this is why today we are going to be looking at, a wide range of some of these skills, and then we can, evaluate them individually and then make sure that it's tailored to who you are, or at least your long-term goals, because times change, and then there's a possibility that what you value now may not be what you will value tomorrow. So at every moment in time, you should be able to find out exactly where you are at the moment and seize that. Okay. All right. So we're going to start this meeting in the next 3 minutes. Let's see if we can wait for a couple of other people to join. We're going to start at exactly 7:30. Sorry, 5:35. I'm just giving 5 minutes grace. This meeting is supposed to start by 5:30 on the dot. Okay. This meeting is not going to last that long. My goal is to make sure this meeting lasts for like 35 minutes to 40 minutes, just to accommodate some of the questions that we might have. So let's wait for other people. But as we do that, if you can help be your brother's keeper, and not just one person, you can just help us, do that, please. We would really, really appreciate. We have 10 people in the room, and we are also live in case people, want to use the YouTube live streaming. Though the YouTube live is a little bit lagging. I mean, it lags by a couple of minutes, but that's fine. That's fine. All right. All right, 1 minute to go. Or should we wait for them a little bit more? Some people are just perpetually comas. It's the way it is. Anyways, we have 11 people in the meeting. Yeah, I see you, Daniel. I see you, Linda. I see you, Mr. Martin. I see you, Nemeko Koraga. I see you, Odichukwu. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you, Princess. I see you, Simeon. I see you, Stella. I don't know. I see Samsung. I don't know who Samsung is. Okay, welcome. I see Amaka. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so if you want us to start the meeting, you can just say start. If you want us to wait maybe for a couple of minutes to see if we have more people in the meeting, I would also wait. If you want us to start, we'll start right away. Okay. Oju said let's start. Okay, okay, let's start. All right. But before we start, so I'm a man of faith. I want us to commit this meeting in God's hands, okay? All right. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, we thank you for another opportunity you've given to us to live. We do not take it for granted. We thank you for the opportunity to gather to learn on how to better our lives. Father, we pray that you open up our minds, open up our hearts to receive what you have for us today. Father, use me as an instrument. I'm nothing but a vessel before you. As I open my mouth, my lips will be moving, but the words that will be coming out of my lips will be your words, and they will be directed at your people here. Today, somebody is going to learn what to do, learn how to take the next step, and his life will be blessed in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, let's get the show on the road. Okay, so we have more people. I know more people will be joining. Okay, so let's start. Get started immediately. All right, my name is Isdo Nana Owakwe, and I like to, tell people why I'm qualified, or at least I think I do, to speak on this subject. First and foremost, I'm a retired lecturer. I worked for 9 years, Federal College of Agriculture, Ishiagi in Ebonyi State. I resigned or retired in 2020. Okay, at the end of 2020. Anyways, we are not going to worry about Power. All right. So I'm also an entrepreneur with over 10 years experience. I'm a personal development trainer, public speaker, a sales and marketing expert, also a professional financial market analyst. So I've worn so many hats, and this is what I believe has qualified me to talk about these things. I'm also going to share my personal experience. So at the end of this meeting, as we evaluate these skills and how they fit in, you know, into your life based on where you are at the moment or the things that matter to you, your personality type. I'm also going to share with you the skill that I gravitated towards. Okay, so make sure you stay to the end. As a matter of fact, that will be the highlight of the meeting. And I also have a special offer for people, for everyone anyways. I have a very special offer for you. So like I said, this meeting is not going to last long. Okay, my intention is to keep it as snappy as possible. All right, but not missing the real reason why we are here. Okay, all right. So let's get started. All right, so if you're here and you would like to earn a lot of money, especially in dollars, let me see you use the comment section and type me. Okay, just type me. Type me in the comment section. If you can, okay. If you can also please help me remind some people that are not here. We're just 16. Okay, I also presume that some people would actually be in the YouTube live, so no problem. Let's get started. Okay, all right. Okay, so I see a lot of me, a lot of me. All right, so I'm going to share a very quick story with you guys, okay? It's a story of a small community where there are three guys, who were very wealthy, while the rest of the people in the community were, in quote, impoverished. So this went on for so long, and these guys were disgruntled. So they said, no, something is wrong. These guys must be doing something, to make sure that we are subjugated, that we don't get ahead. How come they are the ones with all the money? So they, in their protest, went to the king and demanded that this guy should be killed. Okay, that was how bad it was. So the king, in his wisdom, said, okay, I've heard you, and it looks as if you have a point. But he invited, a very wise man to mediate on the matter. So the wise man, after hearing what they had to say about these people, now said, okay, that he would like to speak to them because they are demanding that they be killed. So he went to these guys and said, look at what your community people are saying. They said that you guys, what are money ritualists, that you guys deserve to die. So what do we do about it? So they were pleading for their lives. And I said, if I were you, in order to save my life, I would share all that I have with these people. So for the fear of their lives, they decided to share. Like they even gave them over 70% of all they had. So that way the villagers were happy that at least they get to have what these guys have. And that was how the matter was settled in the interim. So a few years later, something happened. They returned back to the king with the same demand because obviously it looks like those guys were wealthy again. Now, what happened? Those guys became wealthy because the school that their children attended, those guys were the owners. The supermarket, they were the owners. Basically, everywhere these people that collected that money would spend money, they were the ones that owned the place. So what's the moral of the story? So when they went to the king now called that wise man again. I said, look at what people are saying. They've come back again. The wise man laughed. I said, I knew this was going to happen. Why? Because these people focused on money instead of what is bringing the money. So I asked you whether you like to have money, and you said yes. So today we are going to focus on money, on what will bring money and not money. Okay, is that understood? And that is why this is high income skills, not high income opportunities. Now, you see, skill has something to do with the doing, focusing on what will bring the money, right? Why opportunity sounds like, an investment where you don't get to do anything. So our goal today is to focus on skills because money in itself is a worthless piece of paper. Money in itself is a worthless piece of paper. Real money is value for value exchange. That's what real money is. Value for value exchange. Now remember the trade by barter era, where maybe somebody will say, my tuber of yam is what your hen, right? So at some point, what if I don't have a hen and I wanted your tuber? So what do? That was where the concept of money was conceived. So money now became a legal tender, something that you can present and you can have what you want. So, but at that particular time, what people were exchanging was, I have yam, something valuable, and then you have maybe pepper or maybe fish, and I can exchange my yam for your fish, and it was a fair trade. So, but the whole idea of money have been bastardized, and we forget what real money is value, value for valuation. And for you to create this value, you need a skill. Now, a skill is something you can do that solves a problem or produce results. So it is a learned ability to perform a task effectively, consistently, and with value, because you can actually be able to perform a task, but you may not do it effectively or consistently and with value. So that is why our focus today is skill, all right? Okay, so this is the foundation. We're going to start from the beginning. So skill is on top of the list, on top of the chain, because with your skills, you can solve problems. And the quantity of problem you solve can be categorized into small problems or big problems, which will generate small value or big value. And these values are usually in form of products and services, right? So it's like you have a product that you're selling, and what is value? Value is anything that is useful to the user. So if what you're saying is not useful to me, it's not valuable to me. You can have something of value, but somebody may not value it. For instance, you're selling, male clothes in female hostel. The folks there will not value, because even though you're selling something valuable, if you want to make money, go to male hostel and sell them. So sometimes some of the challenges is that the value that we have, we are not positioned in the right place for people to see the value. That is the reason why we may not be able to see the high income that we're looking at. And this is part of the things that we're going to talk about today. So it is the product or service that will get you the income, so which could be high or low. So today our focus is on high income skills. If you're tracking, type in the comment section, I'm tracking. If you're following, type in the comment section, I'm tracking. So in no particular order, let's look at the first one. There's no particular, because you can have big money or small income, which is a function of maybe you and your positioning. Because there's an electronics engineer that is a roadside that people call to fix their electricity and all of that. Then there is also an electronics engineer that works with Shell. The other one has high income, the other one doesn't. So sometimes it's not really about maybe the skill, is about positioning your skill. So now the first one is sales and marketing. Like I said, is in no particular order. Now this is one of the high income skills that anybody can have. I know many people don't like to sell, but the problem is that if you don't sell, you'll be sold. As a matter of fact, some people here may sell me on the fact that they will not be able to do what I'm preferring because they feel they are not some type of way, right? And what does that mean? It means that you actually have the ability to sell. Everybody here, we have the ability to sell. It's just that we are selling our inadequacies instead of saying, okay, I can do this, but I'm not saying you should do this. We're going to find out the personality type that should go into this. Me, I have learned sales and marketing, and it's amazing. Okay, I learned it, through the network marketing industry, that took me, so many places in the world and all of that. And our sales and marketing involve understanding customer needs, communicating value clearly, handling objections and closing deals. Is about turning interest into revenue. So we all need sales and marketing. Anything you do, so the reason why the other person who is as skilled as the other person isn't making money, maybe sales and marketing, hasn't been able to market himself so that his value will be seen by the bigger companies, right? So you see, sales and marketing is very essential. Some of us will need to add another skill on top of what we have to have visibility. So every business that sells a product or service needs sales and marketing, from massive organizations to small startups. as these functions drive customer acquisition, revenue, and brand growth by finding, attracting, and retaining customers. It's very important that you don't just get the customer one time, that you know how to retain the customer. So that's one of the high income skills anybody should have, in 2026. I mean, it can't get old. Selling is as old as time. Eve sold apple to Adam, was able to convince Adam. All right, so the second one is digital marketing. It's almost like the first one, but this one is digitized, right? So this is not a skill, because the truth is that we are in the era of social media. There are over 4 billion people in social media. So you can imagine how your business will suffer when you don't employ the services or you don't have this skill to push whatever value that you have, right? So this particular one focuses on using online platforms, social media, ads, email, and search engines to attract the right audience, increase visibility, and convert attention into sales or leads. Okay, so any business or professional needing to connect with customers online requires digital marketing. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that very soon, having a presence online for your business may be the requirement. I'm telling you, like, if you don't have any presence online, you can as well pack up. So digital marketing is one of those highest paying skills and all that. Okay, so another one, of course, I decided not to put this one first because I know that some people will want me to talk about this one, is AI tools, mastery, and prompt engineering. Okay. All right. Now this particular one, of course, we notice is using AI beyond the way we ask ChatGPT what to do and all of that. I mean, it's amazing. Sometimes I ask ChatGPT questions like saying, "I'm my friend." I even ask him, "What do you want me to do? This is my dilemma," and all that. So now these skills involve understanding how to use AI tools like chatbots, image generators, and automation tools effectively. It focuses on giving clear strategic instructions, aka prompts, so AI can help with research, writing, analysis, design, and productivity. Now, we have to be careful because AI can actually reduce people to dummies, right? But I mean, in a world where things are going into automation, systematized, I mean, AI is everything. I don't know if you've seen all these ads, Click Tech, that will tell you to learn AI tools and all of that. Amazing. So that's one of the skills that you must have. Which, as a matter of fact, is almost inevitable. So as AI becomes, can you hear me? Okay, as AI becomes a foundational productivity tool, is essential for a broad spectrum of professionals, businesses, and creatives looking to move beyond chatbot usage, to achieve higher quality, specialized, and automated AI, outputs. All right. So AI is killing it. It's killing it. All right. So another one is trading skills. Now, this is the trading, having the skills to trade the financial market, the forex, stocks, futures, cryptos. Now, trading skills involve analyzing the financial markets, understanding price movements, managing risk, and making informed buy and sell decisions to generate profits. Now, this is one of the most misunderstood, skills that people have, because people are sold trading as a scheme. It's not a scheme, it's a skill. I'm going to talk about that maybe later. All right. This is one of the highest, income paying or generating skills anybody should have. And skilled financial traders, in case you're looking for, okay, what do I get out of it? Now, skilled financial traders are essential for a wide range of people or entities looking to generate profits, manage risk, or facilitate international businesses. Okay, they are needed by institutional investors, the big banks, right? Corporations and individuals. Now, if you have ever used treasury bill as a way of growing your income, it's traders that do that. When they say, okay, invest this and get 20%, there are people there that will put your money to work. So it's the work of these traders, they are the ones that do this. All right. So that's trading skill and all that. Okay. Now, another one is software development. Now, software development involves writing code to build application, websites, systems, solving problems through logic, structure, and technology. Okay, now, of course, many of us have already heard about software development before. It's a high-paying skill. Okay, remember, I'm not going to teach you this skill. So once you mention it and a particular one, it tickles your fancy, that means you should go and find out who can teach you that. But however, like I said, I'm also going to tell you the one I gravitated towards and why. Maybe you should be able to use that as a yardstick to measure, okay, this is how to look at the one that I want to learn. But the truth is that the inevitability of learning a skill in 2026 cannot be overemphasized, all right? So software development involves writing codes to build application websites or systems, solving problems through logic, structure, and technology. Now, who needs the services of a software engineer? Any organization using digital systems needs software developers, from tech giants to small businesses, including finance, healthcare, retail, government, and education, to create customer apps. Okay, you manage operations, build, maintain, and update essential software for people needing tailored digital solutions. That's just a whole lot. Don't worry about all the jargons or the English, the compound sentence. Just know that this is a high-paying skill and all of that. When we get to the personality type, you get to appreciate this, later. All right. So another one is UX/UI design skills. UX means user experience, and UI means user interface. So it focuses on creating digital products that are easy to use and appealing. Okay, ensuring that users enjoy and understand the product. So if you have ever used an app that you love, this particular app makes sense. It's easy to navigate. It's beautiful. This is the work of a UX UI designer. All right. So companies need them to make their apps beautiful. All right. Is a very good skill that anybody can learn who is interested in going into it. All right. So visually, any company with a digital presence or product needs a UX UI designer. From large enterprises and startups to specific industries like e-commerce, healthcare, to make their apps, websites, and software intuitive, accessible and enjoyable. So this boosts user satisfaction, retention, and business revenue. Okay, so another one is cybersecurity. You already know this. Cybersecurity is about protecting computers, networks, and digital information from hackers, fraud, and cyber attacks. It involves identifying risks, securing systems, and responding to threats. Okay, don't worry, it will get interesting. Okay, when we start, looking at, the comparisons. All right. So any organization using technology and collecting data needs the service of a cybersecurity specialist, from corporations and government to small businesses, with critical needs in finance, healthcare, manufacturing, and software to protect against, breaches and unauthorized access rather. So another one is content creation. Like I said, is in no particular order. Or monetization. This is one that most people want to delve into. Okay. Now this one involves creating, content online. Is the ability to produce, useful, engaging content such as videos, posts, articles that capture attention, build trust and grow an audience online. Now, when people think about content creation, many people always think about it in terms of being a comedian or some of these celebrities and all of that, posting content and all of that. Now, it's amazing that you don't know that you can actually create a content for the first time and post with no followers, and you can get 1 million viewers, 1 million views rather. People don't know that there are algorithms to it, but of course, it's not my work to teach you that. All right, I'm telling you that you don't need to have a following, and you can become a content creator. Why? Because somebody have taught you the nuances around it. Okay, so this one is great. I have a friend. I don't know whether he's a friend. I think he was one of the students in where I taught. At some point, he was making videos or comedy videos. He wasn't getting likes, just few. It's as if it was just his friends and family members that were viewing it. All right. But recently I saw him have like 20,000 views. And I said, what's going on here? Now, what this guy is now, he has shifted from making those comedy videos to make comments on football, he will just replay something about maybe a football match that happened, and he could be commenting on it. So you can imagine. So there are different ways to do that. So let's just quickly go over them because it's about to get interesting now. Another one is project management. Okay, it's the ability to plan, coordinate, and lead tasks and teams, to complete projects successfully with deadlines and all that. So anyone with project that has a specific goal, timeline, and budget needs a project manager. So it's not just launch just like that. You need a project manager, from small businesses launching a new product to large corporations in IT, construction, etc. Organizations or individuals wanting to, move an idea from concept to successful reality actually needs the services of a project manager. So if you like that, you can also do. Now, the last one that I'm going to mention here, before we go into, okay, who is this for and all of that, and all that so you're going to now it's not going to begin to make sense to you. Okay. All right. We're just mentioning them. If you're following so far, type and follow me, please. Okay. So the last one is copywriting. It's not the last one actually, because there are so many of them. I just had to pick these ones. Okay. Now, copywriting is a skill of writing persuasive messages that influence people to take action. Okay, such as buying, a product, signing up, or clicking a link. Now, if you have ever, gotten emails, bombarded emails, and you actually want to buy something, that is the work of a copywriter. They have a creative way of selling an idea, and before you know it, you want to buy. Trust me, these guys are very skilled. They will use all their words. They are word artists actually. They can persuade you. They can persuade the hell out of you. So cooperative is amazing actually. Now, anyone in business needing to sell products, build a brand, or engage large customers through persuasive communication needs a copywriter. Okay, so if you are good with words, you can hone it, all right, by becoming a copywriter, and then you can make a lot of money from it. Okay, so now let's get into the part that I'm really interested, in, and that is honest evaluation of the skills. Okay, let's take a look at the skills, and we're going to evaluate them across different yardstick. The average cost to learn this skill, okay, the dependence on people. Now, the income potential, how much can you actually make, with this skill, and then the personality type. Okay, because I used to see people say or retreat from moving forward because they said, I didn't think this was going to be this way. It's not my kind of thing. So, but before you go into it, you're going to find out whether it's your kind of thing. So we are going to evaluate them, just like I said. So in no particular order, okay, let's look at, AI and prompt engineering. Okay, let's look at it. Now, the average cost to learn this skill is between $200 to $1,500. And between $200 is like 300,000 naira, right? So people dependent medium, okay, it's not that much. All right. Now, potential income, you can earn between $30,000 to $120,000. So it involves automation, AI tools, prompt engineering, is growing in demand every day. So services is growing in demand. So content creation, the average cost to learn content creation ranges between $100 to $1,000. People dependent high, okay? For you to succeed there, you need people, right? Okay, now potential income yearly, actually, in dollars is $20,000 to $80,000 plus yearly. So we look at, what you need, video graphics, blog, YouTube income, it varies with audience as well. Okay, cybersecurity, the average cost of learning cybersecurity is between $500 to $3,000. So people dependent medium, okay, potential income 50,000 to 150,000 plus. Okay, so that's a lot of money. Now remember, I said potential income. It doesn't mean that if you're not proficient or excellent in these skills, maybe you'll not even earn any money at all. All right, that's why we call it skill. Anyways, that's by the way. But these are the potential incomes that requires certifications, high demand, stable jobs. All right, can have stable jobs with that. Now, another one is digital marketing and social media. That's between $100 to $2,000. You can learn how to do this. People dependent high. All right, potential income between $30,000 to $100,000. Okay, so you can freelance, you can have clients with this. and all that. So it's a high income skill. Sales and marketing, we've talked about this. The average cost of learning that is between $200 to $5,000. People dependent, very high. You really need people, all right? So potential income between 40,000 to 200,000 plus and above, because sales is crazy, man. Sales is everything, right? So now income is highly dependent on deals and on people. Okay, so let's look at trading skills. Okay, what's the average cost to learn how to trade? Is between $100 to $500. People dependent, very low, very low. It may even be the person that you're learning from that you are going to maybe depend on in the interim. Now, potential income, 20,000 to unlimited. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Okay, there's no limit. All right. So note skill-based, independent income scales with skills and capital. All right. Now, the other one is project management. So the average cost to learn project management is between $300 to $1,000. Now, people dependent, very high. Okay. And the potential income is between 50,000 to 120,000. Now, it relies on teams and organization. So UX design, average cost to learn is between $200 to $2,000. Now, people dependent is high. Potential income is between $40,000 to $100,000 yearly, actually. Okay, the potential income is yearly. Now, freelance or corporate income depends on clients and projects. Okay, now software development. So the average cost to learn between $300 to $5,000 to learn how to learn this skill. Now, people dependent, medium. All right, potential income between 50,000 to 150,000 plus. Okay, stable demand, salaries vary by experience and tech. Now, the last on the list here is copywriting, and average cost to learn is between $100 to $1,500. Now, people dependent is very high. Now, potential income is between 30 to $100,000. Okay. Now, freelance or corporate income depends on clients and tech. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because this is where your personality type will come into play. Okay. So for people that want to go into AI tools and mastery, prompt engineering, the best fit personality here is introverted to balance. Like, it doesn't mean that, if you're an extrovert, you can't do that. Okay. People are introverted, and this is the reason. Because before somebody will say, you did not explain this thing well to me. Okay, because it requires deep thinking, experimentation, and solo problem solving. Okay, some collaboration for projects, but mostly independent work. So that's why the best fit personality for AI tool mastery is somebody that is introverted. Now, content creation, you have to be extroverted, okay, or a little bit balanced, right? So why? It needs confidence on camera. So if you're somebody that is confident, of course, you can do the storytelling. It needs audience engagement and consistency. It can be done solo, but thrives on visibility and feedback. Okay, it thrives on visibility and feedback. Now, cybersecurity is actually introverted, highly technical. The reason is because it's highly technical, it's analytical, and solitary. So focus heavy work with minimal social interaction. So anybody that wants to go to cybersecurity has to be an introvert. Okay, otherwise you'll be bored. Okay, so digital marketing and social media, you have to be extroverted. All right, so because it requires constant interaction, persuasion, networking, trend awareness, and collaboration with clients or teams. So if you're not somebody that wants to deal with people, forget about digital marketing and social media. You must deal with people. Okay, now sales and marketing, strongly extroverted, heavily people facing, involves pitching, negotiations, follow-ups, relationship building, and rejection handling. So you have to be able to, handle all of this for you to try, for you to make that money that is, attached to it. Now, what about trading skills? Okay, forex, stocks, futures, crypto. Best personality, introverted. Okay, if you're the kind of person that don't want to deal with people, why is because he's independent, analytical, rule-based, and self-controlled. No selling, no team, no persuasion. Just you, your system, and the market. Your skill, that's just what you need. You don't need to deal with people. So best fit personality is that, okay? All right. So for project management, you have to be extroverted. because it requires coordination, communication, leadership, conflict resolution, and people management. Before you say, I want to be a project manager, and then before you know it, people are pouring up and down, and you're supposed to be the manager, you have to be able to resolve that with them, okay? So if you're not that kind of person, that's fine. Now, UI design, introverted, you have to be, best personality fit is introverted to balanced, all right? So now, why? Because you need to be creative, technical, solo design work with some collaboration for feedback and people alignment. Okay, this is the reason why it is like that. Now, software development, introverts, right? Because it's deep focus, logic driven, long solo work, sessions, limited communication except for team updates and code reviews. Okay, and then we have copywriting, introverted to balance. Why? Because you have to be writing focused and solely. You have to be focused and solitary if you want to write creatively, right? But it requires understanding people's psychology. Okay, that's what it requires, and sometimes working with clients. Now, guys, one of the things that you have to now ask yourselves are, which one should I go into? All right, so I'm going to share mine, and I'm sure that some of you here may not be able to guess the one that I eventually chose, okay, over time. Now, I have been an entrepreneur for the past 10 years, all right, and I've actually been out there, and a time came, what happened to me was, a couple of years ago, like I said, what will make you choose the one you want to go into may be circumstantial, okay, or it may be that you discover that you don't do well when it comes to so and so, right? But for me personally, and I'm going to share with you the one that I chose and why, and I'm going to be gravitating towards it, for people that would want to choose that as well, and I'll be able to help, okay? All right. So a couple of years ago, I got to a point in my life, I was married, and things began to change for me. So I needed to be more, more at home. Okay, I needed to be more present. Let me just put it that way. But more than just that, I saw my brother, okay, and a couple of other people who actually wanted to japa, okay, and what they totally had on them was much, and they were basically disrupting their lives because they want to travel abroad, and the reason was because they want to earn in dollars, right? And me, I started thinking about earning in dollars, right? So I said, I'm not the kind of person that would like to chat, but as a matter of fact, I've traveled to 5 different countries of the world. So it's not something that freaks me, but I would still like to earn in dollars. So I just wrote something that I would like to earn in dollars and all that. I just wrote it down 2 years ago. I wasn't sure of what it was or what it was going to be and all that. And then secondly, as an entrepreneur who has built large sales teams and all of that in the network marketing industry, one of the things that I had to deal with, I'm still in the network marketing industry anyways, I had to deal with was people. Okay, somebody is excited about joining an opportunity, but it gets to a point where the person feels, you did not explain this thing well to me. I don't want to deal with people. Is there a way I can do this, without being involved and all of that? I noticed that people never stopped wanting to make money, but their personality type was the problem. They didn't want to have to deal with other people, added to what they are currently doing. So that got me thinking, right? So now I told myself, okay, because I also want to transit, I want to build another business on top of what I already have. I'm telling you my story, how I arrived at this, so that before you choose, you should be that have an element of this. So, and what I'm going to share with you now, I stumbled on it. It found me, rather. So out of all these skills, if you notice, some skills pay you based on people, clients, audience, or teams, while others pay you based on your decision and expertise alone. Okay, so this is my honest evaluation. Okay, all right. Now, some skills also need constant learning, upgrades, and certifications to remain relevant. That's the simple truth. So you need to constantly be updated, right? Now, What that means, some skills also require working with people, managing clients, or depending on an audience. Now, that's fine if you love that. But at some point in my life, right, I needed to gravitate towards something that wouldn't get me to deal with that. I already have enough dealing with, and I needed to add to what I already have. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what made me decide, to go for this particular skill. All right. So this is exactly what made me to go for this particular skill. So now, if you want to make money with your skill alone, listen to this. I know so many people still just want to make money with their skill, right? If you want freedom from managing clients, team, or followers, if you don't want to deal with all that, okay? If you want high income without having to sell yourself or your network, if all this fits your profile or what you're looking for, then this is the skill that is for you. And that is the skill that I chose. That one skill that stands out, that fits all the criteria above, is trading skills. Yes, it is trading skills. Okay. Now, if you ever wanted to earn without relying on others, ladies and gentlemen, then trading is your fastest path. You don't need to sell, you don't need to persuade or manage anyone, just the skill and your discipline. So you become the money. So it is the only skill that combines full independence with high earning potential when mastered. Remember, I said when mastered. All right. That is the only skill that does that. And trust me, I have seen a lot. Okay. So it is the check, even from our comparison, from what we have said so far, is also the cheapest to learn and the only skill that has unlimited earning potential in that table of comparison. I mean, there's no limit to how much you can earn. Other ones are capped and dependent on whether you get projects or not and stuffs like that. But this one doesn't. It's just you, your decision, and all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, and I have an offer, for that I'm going to make, for you guys that are here. Now you can learn trading systematically and strategically with discipline and guidance, you know, and then it can become one of the fastest ways to turn your skill into high income. I mean, it's so amazing. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but for the people that are going to gravitate towards this, we can have that conversation later. No clients, no drama, just you, your decisions, and the market. Now, I've had my own fair share of this. That is why I decided to go for this. Okay, that's why I decided to go for this. So, ladies and gentlemen, so what I'm proposing to you now, personally, I've had over 20 months experience here. And why I'm qualified to talk about this, because I'm about to, make an offer for people who are here who want to gravitate towards this. All right. And I have an offer for you. Okay. And the reason is because I've spent enough time here to know how it works, to understand the nuances and all that. And I have a certificate to prove that. Now, I don't like showing money, but I can tell you that instead of showing you money, because anybody can screenshot something, all right, I'd rather show you my process. And that certification is the process that I've undergone, okay, or I underwent, okay, to prove that I have paid the price here. So this is exactly what I'm offering and all that. Remember, I said is the cheapest and then is the only skill that you can turn into money immediately, okay, without relying on selling anything. Once you have the skill, you make money. Just with your phone, you can make money. So, but I have an important disclaimer as I share and close, this deal, okay? I have an important disclaimer. Now, I know that many people have tried trading before, okay, and lost money. Not because trading doesn't work, that's a simple truth, but because they were not taught, the skill properly. Trust me, many times I've heard about it. People are told about trading from the standpoint of, investment, like Chi-Best, all of these things that crashed too. These guys were not trading. They are trying to sell you something else. I'm talking about the skill, okay? Now, trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a high-income skill. Just like engineering, you study engineering, medicine or law. That is what it is. It is not, it's a skill. It is not a scheme. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. So I also need to let you know that you need to think of it like a university degree. Let me explain to you. So when you graduate, the school that you went to will not promise you salary. I hope you know that. Now, some graduates get high-paying jobs, some get low-paying jobs, some never use their certificate at all. But one thing is certain, they have the skill and they can use it anytime. So training education works the same way. So I'm not selling income. Remember, we're not even selling money here. All I'm saying is education and skill. For people that are interested in other ones, you can find out somebody that can teach you that. And whatever the person said is going to cost for you to learn, of course, you have to pay the guy to learn. All right. So now what you earn from trading will depend on how you learn, how well you learn, how disciplined you are, and how consistently you apply the skills, just like any profession. Okay, so if you're looking for someone to trade for you, this is not for you. But if you want to learn a skill you can use for years independently, okay, responsibly, and at your own pace, then this is for you. Like for people that say that offer signal services, these are people that probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. Signals make you dependent. We are talking about independence here. We are talking about other skills depending on this, depending on that. And then people will now introduce signals into trading, making it dependent. No, it's not supposed to be like that. All right. So skills make you free. Signals make you independent, but skills make you free. So once you have learned how to analyze the market, which is what I'm going to be teaching, nobody can take that skill away from you. Nobody. So this is my offer. If you're ready, let me know in the comment section for people that want to gravitate towards this, all right, towards this particular skill. I'm not jack of all trades, all right? So you can find out for that. But for people that want to gravitate towards what I gravitate towards, if you're ready, type I'm ready. I have a special offer for you as we begin to round up. Okay, so this is what I'm offering. Now, remember, in the table of comparison, we said that you can learn trading from between 100 to was $500, all right? But I have good news. The good news is it will not cost you $100 because it's coming from me. I'm launching the maiden edition of what I'm doing, and I really, really would like to help people. Okay, so it's not going to cost you $100. It's only going to cost you, are you ready? It's only going to cost you $35. So I'm removing 65%. I mean that's very generous. All right. Let me tell you, I want you to imagine what $35. $35 is approximately 52,500, right? Yeah. But I want you to imagine what $35 that you pay to learn a skill. I want you to imagine the difference $1,000 can make in your life a year from now. Just because you learned a skill and you don't, a skill that can give you that. $1,000 is around 1.5 million naira. All right. So I just want you to imagine. However, I'm not done with my special request. Oh, sorry, I say request, special offer. Okay. Okay, duration. Somebody's asking duration of the training. Just 1 month. Okay. Then we can go over, it's going to be 1 month focused trading only. All right. But the other ones, the other mentorship will continue, gradually. I could also find out what you're doing. But for us to get all that we need to be able to launch properly 1 month. All right. So the good news that I have is that for the people that are going to start now, meaning between today, now, the offer that I have, and 24th, 26th rather, 26th is the Monday close of work. It's online. Okay, are you with me? All right, it's online. Okay, so the people that are going to do that would pay only, starting now, $30. So I'm removing 7,500 from you, from what you're going to pay. And if you're going to do that, as I begin to entertain questions now, this is the account to pay to. You can screenshot this. Our start date is 31st January 2026. That's a week from now or thereabout. We are going to start immediately. For the people that are paying now, that's the account to pay to. If you do that, you chat me up, okay? All right. Once you make your payment, you let me know that you have done that. So you have the opportunity to pay only $30 between today and Monday close of work for you to get started. We are starting a week from now, and we're going to start learning immediately. I'm going to teach you all that I know. We're going to remove the noise around so many things that you have to learn, okay? And then get to what truly matters, all right? Trust me, I've had my own fair share of this. So at this particular point, you can screenshot this. That's the account number to pay to, and we are starting 31st of January 2026, okay? All right, so at this juncture, I think I'll entertain questions, even though you have to ask questions on other skills, okay? I can answer to the best of my ability. But if you want to ask me questions on this, I believe that this session may not even be enough for it. Maybe we can now go, you can still ask anyways. You can now go offline. Most of you are already in the group. You can chat me up and then we can get started. So you can screenshot this. This is the skill that I've chosen. This is a skill that I'm retiring to. Imagine, I don't even know how to explain this. There's a lot to say, but I'm not going to say that. I am telling you, this is one of the best things that happened to me ever. I found this. Sorry, he found me rather. I did not go out looking for it. He found it. $30 in Naira is 45,000 Naira. Okay, that's what. So once you do that, you get started immediately and all of that. Okay, within 1 month. Okay, the frequency of the training. So what will happen is this. As we start on Saturday next week, okay, I believe that as a team or as a group, we can decide how frequent we want it to be, okay, so that we can take a vote on it. Do you understand? We can take we can even decide the times, okay? We can take a vote and decide the times that will work for everybody since it's going to be online, okay? It's fine by me. So the frequency, but I think twice or highest 3 times in a week, but 2 times is ideal. And the way we're also going to do it, we're also going to have some records. Okay, recordings in case somebody may not be chanced at the time we are doing it to also go through, and the person can still ask me questions, based on that later. Okay, all right. So that's exactly what we are going to do. Any other question? Any other question? Let me go to the comment section. Let me know. Okay. I hope you got value for your time. Remember, we are talking about skill. We are not talking about money. We're talking about skill. So by all means, if digital marketing skill is what you want to learn, go and find out who will teach you that, right? But if you want to join, if you want sales and marketing, I would say join a good network marketing company. If you want, I can also recommend. I'm also involved, so I know how to guide you through that. That will teach you everything. Excuse me. That made me a personal development trainer and all that. Okay. Okay, somebody's asking if you don't have $30 from now till Monday, can it be extended to month end? Okay, it can be extended to month end, but you pay $35 then. Hmm? You pay $35 then. If I extend it to month end, definitely, I mean, it's between now, we're starting month end now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Unless I change my mind. But for now, what we have on ground is this. Okay. If by popular demand or church mind, I might, but it has to be between now and 26th. Okay. That's fine. If I'm paying, yes, you're paying $35. No, it's $35. No more, not 100. It's not $100. So the $100 is not applicable after this. Okay, so $35. Okay, all right. So any other question? Nobody's asking me any question on other skills. Okay. All right. So in the absence of any other question, I think it's fine. Once you screenshot this, we already know what to do. Okay, what about AI? Okay. How do I recommend now? Now, I actually want to take some AI courses. There's these people, Cursive, ClickTech. They advertise that, they are charging, what is it called? I think $19 to learn how to use AI, apps and all of that. But I know that AI is beyond app. As a matter of fact, somebody was even charging 1,000 naira. Was charging 1,000 naira to teach you. I'm not joking, no. So, but those ones are they just want to make quick money. I'm talking about mastery, okay? But you can go for some of those as you start from there, okay? Maybe ClickTech or Cursive, $20 and all of that. So, but I believe that what they are going to give you may not be that detailed, right? But then it's a good place to start, all right? Okay. So I hope that has answered your question. Okay, let me check if there's any other question. All right. Don't mind, my other device, went off. Okay, we are getting payments already. Well done to the people that have already done that. Okay. Okay, any question? All right, so I guess we should take it offline, right? So let's take it offline. Thank you so much for being part of this meeting. Okay, and I think if you have any other question, just ask me offline. All right. Have a wonderful evening and God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.